Lesson number 2, angle bisectors and angle addition postulate. This lesson will teach me to define and use an angle bisector to find the value of a variable and use an angle addition postulate to find the value of a variable as well. Sorry about my scratchy voice. It's better. Still kind of bad though. But anyway, angle bisector by definition is a ray that divides an angle into two equal or congruent parts. So if we're dividing an angle, we first need an angle, and I'm going to call this angle ABC. So an angle bisector is a ray, meaning it starts at a point and goes outward. And what it's doing is that it's cutting this angle so that this piece and this piece are congruent. What you would do for the notation is you would say that angle ABD is congruent to angle DBC. Or if you wanted to, you could say the measure of angle ABD is equal to the measure of angle DBC. Angle addition postulate. Remember, a postulate is something that is assumed true. We've dealt with a segment addition postulate. Now we're dealing with an angle addition postulate, where a part plus a part equals the whole. So I'm going to have an angle, this one, and if it gets added to another angle, let's say this one, and let me call this angle ABC, and this green one will be CBD. What it's telling me is that this blue angle, when I add it, if I take the measure of angle ABC and I add it to the measure of angle CBD, it's going to equal the entire angle, which is the measure of angle ABD. The reason why I'm using the measure here is because these are technically numbers. Numbers get added to equal up. So you're not actually adding the angles, you're adding the measurements. But a part plus a part equals the whole. So there's your definitions. Here are a couple of examples. It says use the diagrams to find the variables and angle measurements. Show work. So in this first one, it says VC is an angle bisector. So because of the word angle bisector, I know that this portion and this portion must be the same. It says the measure of angle BVC is 25 degrees. It's asking you to find the measure of angle CVA. CVA is right here. Because of the word angle bisector, they have to be equal. Now it's asking you to find the measure of angle BVA. BVA is this entire angle, so using the angle addition postulate, a part plus a part is the whole. So over here in the next one, it's asking you to find the measure, or find x, and then the measure of BVC. Do you see these little markings right here? That's telling you that VC is an angle bisector. So I can either write it in words and you mark it, or I can mark it and you understand that it's an angle bisector. But if it's an angle bisector, that means that these two pieces are equal. So that means the expressions that represent them are also equal. So we have an equation. Minus 3x minus 3x. I should probably show my work. So that's going to give me a 1x, add the 14, add the 14, and I end up with 11. So x equals 11. But it's asking you for the measure of angle BVC. BVC is this right here, and if x is 11, well, 3 times 11 is 33, minus 3 is 30 degrees. Next one, you're going to be drawing here. So it's telling you to draw a diagram, or that nice little box right there, little rectangle-y thing. Draw a diagram. It says that ray BX bisects angle ABC. So here's ABC. Should probably put arrows on there. and it's telling me that the ray that goes from B out to X bisects the angle. So if it's bisecting the angle, let's put on our markings. All right, from here, it says that the measure of ABX is 4x minus 16, and CBX is 2x plus 6. At this point, it's pretty much the same as the one that you just did up here. Because it's an angle bisector, because of the word bisect, because of the markings, I know that the quantity of 4x minus 16 is equal to 2x plus 6. So you have an equation to solve. So I have 2x minus 16 equals 6. Add the 16 to the other side. I have 2x equals 22. Oh, x equals 11. That's a fluke. It just says solve for x. So check that out. We're done. Couple more. Fastest video ever, right? It says use the angle addition postulate to solve for an unknown length. Probably should have put measure instead of length, but whatever. It says the measure of angle BDC. So this measurement in here is 23. Tells you the measurement of A, get a different color, ADC. It's this whole thing. It's telling you the whole angle, ADC. Oh, I read it wrong. Oof, start over. Not the shortest video ever. BDC is 23. ABD is 43. Aha. And it's asking for the measure of A to D to C. So it's asking for how big is this angle? Well, the angle addition postulate says that a part plus a part is the whole. So it looks like it's 66 degrees. For letter B, ADC is this whole angle, ADC. So this entire angle is 107 degrees. It's telling me that BDC, its measure is 53, and it wants to know ADB, so this one right here. So the angle addition postulate says a part plus a part is the whole, but since I know the whole, I can subtract the part from it. So it ends up giving me 54. So the 54 plus the 53 equals the 107. One more. Let's read it. It says if the measure of angle BDC, so this measure is 50 degrees here. If ADB, so ADB is this amount, is 9x minus 4. And ADC, this entire angle, is 12x plus 10. It wants us to find the measure of ADB. So it really wants to know how many degrees are right here. So I'm going to need to find x. One thing to note is that visually these angles, this green one and this blue one, are not the same size. But even if you couldn't tell that by looking at it, you'll notice that the word angle bisector is not anywhere. Notice there's no double markings. So there's nothing to indicate that this angle has been cut in half, and there's nothing to indicate that the green angle and the blue angle are equal. So what we're ending up dealing with here is the angle addition postulate, which says a part of an angle plus a part of the angle is equal to the whole thing. So that 9x minus 4, when added to the 50, is going to equal the 12x plus 10. So there's your equation. Let's do some combining. I have 9x plus 46 is equal to 12x plus 10. I combined those two. I'm going to move, whoops, I forgot the x. I'm going to move the 9x over. Move the 10. Lovely voice. And divide by 3. So where am I going to write this? X equals 12. But notice, it's not asking you just for the value of x. Again, it's asking for the angle or the measure of angle ADB. So if I know that that value is 12, then it's going to be 9 times 12 minus 4, which ends up equaling 104. So the measure of angle ADB is equal to 104 degrees. Whew. All right, 10-minute video, not the worst I've done. Sorry for my voice. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.